Hello everyone, it's your VTuber Senpai. I've been asked many times in Discord and on streams on how to apply for Nijisanji or how to apply for Hololive. And since there isn't a lot of videos out there on how to apply for Nijisanji or Hololive, I figured I would do a live stream where I explain for what they're looking for and what you should have on your resume when you apply. The video you are about to watch was actually recorded with my live stream a few days ago, getting their input and insight on these topics. So I would love to have your feedback and your comments as well down below. But I have a favor to ask you before we jump into the video, and that is if you like today's content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. By liking and commenting, you actually help us rank better in the YouTube algorithm, and by subscribing, you actually help us unlock better features on YouTube down the road. But enough about all that, let's get into the video. A lot of people ask me, and right off the bat, I'm sorry for any bad spelling I have. I'm not going to worry about spelling or spell check or doing this right, because honestly, my spelling right now is equivalent to a Mr. Spell being dropped into a bucket of water. So you want to join an MCN, multi-channel network. All right. We know that. A lot of people want to do that, right? For some reason, a lot of people think it's a great thing. But a lot of people apply for an MCN, and a lot of people, in my opinion, isn't ready for an MCN. MCN meaning Hololive, right? And oh crap, Hololive and what was it called? Give me a second here. I wrote it down somewhere. Whoops. Oh my god, technical difficulties. Nijisanj. Okay. All right. Now, a lot of people I've noticed in YouTube videos that I've been researching and looking on Reddit and whatnot, a lot of people are just throwing applications and they don't have substance behind their applications. Now, if you look at Nijisanji, or I know I butchered that, I'm sorry. They ask you several things, right? YouTube channel. And they ask for you to link it. They also ask for your Instagram. They ask for your Twitter, right? They ask for your Twitch, if you have one. Why are these platforms, or why are they asking for these things in their application? Well, they're asking these because, one, they want to know what platforms you have stuff on. And another question that they have in their application is how many followers do you have on each application or on each section of the application for these particular YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Why are they asking that? Well, the reason why they're asking that is they want to know your ability of being able to get an audience. Your ability to get people to click on your stuff, on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Twitch, and your YouTube. Now, let's be honest here. These places will probably never, ever, ever recruit anybody that has zero of any of these. If you don't have any followers or subscribers on YouTube, if you have 0 followers on Instagram, 0 followers on Twitter, and 0 followers on Twitch, depending on which one of these two you stream mainly on, they're probably going to look past your application. That's probably going to be them weeding a lot of people out. Right? Why is that? Well, the reason is we need to prove to the companies that we will work hard for them. Right? Because if these companies are going to invest their time into you, they need to see that you've worked hard in the past. So what's the number one thing we think about when we think about these Hololive people, right? What's the number one thing? And everybody's, everybody's allowed to reply during this, but what's the number one thing that we always try to figure out about these Hololive stars? Right schedule. Okay. That might be one. Or tight schedule. But there's always a mystery behind them. What's the mystery we're trying to figure out? We're always trying to figure out who they were before. Right? We're trying to figure out who Maury Calliope's YouTube channel was prior. Stuff like that. A lot of people have theories going around saying, oh, they were so-and-so on YouTube before. They were this person on YouTube before. They were this person on YouTube before. Right? We want to know who they were before they joined Hololive. Exactly, Thorntail. Exactly. So we have a lot of these theories on who they were. Right? We have these theories. And a lot of people spend a lot of time investigating, right? Like Theories Girl was, yeah, exactly. That's the number one talk around the water cooler. So see if that's true. That means Gura, Maury, and all of them built what before they applied to Hololive? Right? They made...
We have a new follower.
I don't know where the notification went, but hello? They made an audience prior. Right? They showed to Hololive that they are able to make an audience. They were able to get people to hit the subscribe button. And how did they do that? They were entertaining. So they learned how to make content on YouTube. They made channels to show that, hey, I know what I'm doing here on YouTube. And they put their application in for Hololive, which primarily streams on YouTube. But yeah, I'll give you a gold star for that. So we know that they want us to have, for us to show that we can make an audience, show that we can work hard, right? Not only that, showing that we could build a following, aka our subscribers, but willingness to change and adapt. Because anybody that makes a YouTube channel, a successful YouTube channel, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about big, large YouTubers, 100K plus, right? They have changed and adapted their YouTube channels to get to 100K, because you can't do the exact same thing from 0 subscribers to 100K subscribers. You have to change things. Myself, I changed my sweater. I changed how I stream. I changed where I stream, so on and so forth. I changed the content I was creating. Before, here on YouTube, I used to upload videos on how our Rainbow Six Siege videos. But now I went to making VTubing content videos, which made my channel grow a lot more than it did prior, because I saw something that I could change, and I changed it, and because I changed it, it made growth. You guys following me there so far? I know the chat delay is going to be pretty big. So, what should we have when we apply to these MCNs? Well, one, we need to show that we could build an audience. So, if you're going to apply for an MCN, I highly suggest you're going to have 10K subs on YouTube. Okay. Also, you want to have a minimum of 5K on Twitter and or Insta. But there's another thing I need you guys to think about. Right? I think they have not have a YouTube or channel or Twitch before. Okay. Now, what you can't do now, say you have 10K subs on YouTube. Okay. You can't have a dead YouTube channel at all. What's a dead YouTube channel? A dead YouTube channel is something that you worked a lot on growing, but you gave up on, or you haven't posted to in a year. If you have a channel that you haven't posted to for a year, your ability to pass successfully on the application is almost zero. Because what they want to see is constant work that you're doing. And honestly, if they see that you gave up, why are they going to bother? How do they know that you won't just give up on them down the road? Like, how long for not posting on YouTube? Weeks. Because if you got 10K subs on YouTube, you're going to be posting at least once a week. They want to see activity on your YouTube channel. Right? They want to see that you're still plugging hard. And one thing I do recommend is that you do it for at least 1 year. Have 1 year's worth of content so they can see that for the past year you've been serious about this. Right? So Mori, Gura, stuff like that, their YouTube channels prior, we don't know what they are 100%, but we know that they've worked hard on their YouTube channels prior, and so on and so forth. What if posting daily and streaming 2 times a week? Posting on YouTube daily? Well, that all depends what your viewer retention is on those videos, right? If you're posting a video daily and you have, 10,000 people seeing each video, yeah, you're doing pretty good. Well, I applied to one thing I learned is that being multilingual is an actual requirement, not optional. Yeah, we'll get to that later if I remember. So, brush up on your Japanese people. I heard Mori used to be a rapper or something. Yeah, absolutely. Right? But she probably built her YouTube channel around stuff like that. Showed that she is, able to build that. Okay, so we just went over 10K subs on YouTube, 5K on Twitter and Insta. But on Twitter and Insta, we want to see that they have... What are we thinking about? That you have proper engagement. Okay, we're just going to leave it as engaged because I can't remember how to spell engagement at the moment. So what this means is if you post something on YouTube or on Twitter and Instagram, are people liking it? Are people commenting on it? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of people with followers on Twitter and Instagram, and I mean 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Thank you, Carl. On Twitter and Instagram, have all these followers make posts on their Twitter and Instagram and have zero engagement. Nobody liking their tweet, nobody liking their Instagram post, nobody replying to it or anything. Right? They got dead followers, or they did some sort of follow for follow or something like that. And basically their numbers mean nothing. So when places like Hololive and stuff like that ask for your Twitter, your Insta, your YouTube, your Twitch, so on and so forth, they are also looking at to see, okay, how many likes are they getting on these YouTube videos? Are they getting comments on these YouTube videos? Are they replying to their comments on their YouTube videos on Twitter and Instagram? Sure, they have a lot of followers and so on and so forth, but when they post something, are people actually reading it? Are people actually engaging with it? Right? That's important. Yes, you can have these followers and whatnot, but if people aren't engaging with it, this means nothing. So make sure if you guys do apply for these, you have these things. That's why I always recommend for going for organic growth over getting followers from shoutouts and such. Exactly, 100%. Carl's 100% on the money. Okay, now we've talked about what they're going to be looking for when you apply for a MCN, right? Multi-channel network. Let's talk about some positives and negatives. Okay, here we go. Some positives. You get an audience right away because they have an established network of people. As soon as they say so-and-so is now joined with us and they're going to be debuting, blah, 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 they're going to have thousands upon thousands of viewers and followers there right off the bat. Okay. What else do we get right away if we join an MCN? Rev. Right? You don't have to touch monetization stuff. It's handled by the company. Yep. But you get instant instant revenue given by the MCN. Okay. Revenue, income. So how much you make, dollars, dinero, right? The greenback, stuff like that. This is like a science exam. Honestly, enjoying this. Thank you, Cringe. Thank you for the $2. I really appreciate it. Right? Okay. You get instant revenue by them, which means you get paid probably within net 30, net 20. And what net 30, net 20 means within 20, 30 days of the month end is when you get paid. Right? And you're usually going to get paid a minimum amount. Right? So you're probably going to be guaranteed, we don't know this 100%, but you're going to be guaranteed a minimum amount. But there's a negative side to that. But let's look at another positive. Free advertising. Right? They handle all that stuff. They're going to make everybody else up that's a part of the MCN shout you out. They're going to make, like, say, if we joined Hololive tomorrow, for example, they're going to make Mori, they're going to make Gura, and everybody else under the sun say, hey, Senpai has joined us. This is when he's going to be streaming. Make sure you go follow and watch. And they're going to, not only that, they're going to make those streamers join our stream to pump it up and hype it up even more. Which also helps the first one, the audience. They help you get top tier models from most exclusive artists and riggers. Yeah, absolutely. Which was our actually fourth thing. Free models and gear. Right? Yeah, Carl brought up another good one. Also a great chance that you get advice from expert marketing people. But more than likely, Carl, they are doing all the marketing. More than likely, the MCN for Hololive and stuff like that is doing all of it. Which would be better for VTubing, GPU or CPU or GPU? GPU. A little bit CPU, a little bit of both, but GPU. Crap. Whether it's a little bit of both. But more than likely, I highly doubt Mori or Gura or anybody is dealing with any of the advertising. I'm 100% sure that, or I won't say 100, I'm 99% sure the advertising is being dealt by the company. Okay, but here we are at Free Models and Gear. They're going to make your model, right? And they are going to give you your computer and mic and gear, right? Which is great. Which is perfect, because you probably won't have to worry about anything. And everything that's sent to you is already probably more than likely set up with their proprietary software, if they use any, and ready to go. Anybody want to take a guess on what the fifth thing could be? Any idea what the fifth thing could be? And a lot of people, I don't think, will get this one. The company definitely does the marketing and have a lot of assets. I heard Mori go on a rant that she was annoyed by a piece of Hololive advertising. Yeah. You work for the company to give you all the tools for doing the job. Yep. Would another benefit be concerts and conventions? Sort of. You're close. Schedule? Nope. They have to go by the company schedule. They have to stream an X amount of hours per week. Platform deals. Which is a good and bad thing. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that they more than likely have access to better revenue share from YouTube, right? Which is great. We want that. That's great. That's perfect. But what else do they probably get? Deals with companies. Deals. So we're talking like Logitech, so on and so forth. So every time they talk about you should use this Logitech mouse and keyboard, they're going to get a cut for that, which is pretty dope. Free money, right? They don't have to do anything. The company themselves, the MCN, is going to go out to Logitech, be like, hey, I got 10 VTubers under here, for example. They might have more, they might have less, we don't know. Well, we have 10 VTubers under our MCN. If you pay us $1 million, we'll make sure they advertise your stuff. And more than likely, the VTubers under the MCN will probably get 10K each. And then the MCN, right, Hololive or them, will probably pocket 90% of it. Or if they're a really good company, they'll do a 50-50 split. But more than likely, the VTuber is going to get the lower end of a cut, but it's still free money. Okay, that's some positive things. Let's talk about some negatives. First thing, no control over your channel. What does that mean? It means the artwork. It means what you upload. It means whatever games you play. It means stuff like that. You probably won't have any control over. right? We can look at examples on YouTube of Maury talking. Well, okay, I shouldn't say Maury, just in case. We can find examples on YouTube of streamers saying that they can't play with so and so, or they show information on their YouTube channel that they shouldn't have and suddenly have to graduate a week later. Right? You got zero control over your channel. Which also means more than likely they're going to control on who you stream with and when you stream with them. They might have somewhere in your contract that you have to stream with your fellow VTubers in your MCN X amount of time per month. And they'll set that all up and make you do it. NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which is a contract. Basically, makes it so you can't tell anybody anything, aka your subs, your ad revenue, your revenue in general, DMs, what's some other examples of something that could be in an NDA? Right? You can't disclose anything about the deals, how much you're making from those deals, how much your ad split is on YouTube or Twitch. Right? A lot of people don't think about this, but how about your IRL self? Yeah. You might not be able to even talk about your IRL self, which is a huge thing. Sorry, Senpai, I gotta go. No worries. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Right? So an NDA controls what you can and cannot say, which is pretty bad for a lot of people. Some people can handle that no problem. Others can't. See you tomorrow? Okay, see you tomorrow. Now, what's another bad thing? Anybody got any ideas? Because I got a whole bunch. They have an NDA that even the gods couldn't break. One got fired for a week after going live. She mentioned she accidentally revealed her model to her friend a week before her debut. Boom. Ah, don't worry about it. Okay, I'll show. No free posting on platform. Yeah, that's one. But remember how we talked about here, platform deals, rev share, stuff like that? They control all deals and sponsorships. So if they want you to advertise for Joe Blow and Kokomo and you don't believe in that product, well, that's tough because you're advertising for it even if you don't believe in it. You have no say. They don't actually make money from their super chats. That goes straight to the company. Is that a confirmed thing? So super chats go to company. Well, you know what? That actually makes sense. Super chats go to company, and then YouTube ad rev goes to the company, said company as well. And then VTuber gets the cut, gets their cut. Right? Carl, are you okay? I don't know why I'm smiling, but I am. But right out of the bat, and I believe Thorntail's 100% correct on this, all these companies get the money first and then it gets distributed. But why is that? Well, the same reasons for up here. They give you an audience right away, right? They give you free advertising, they give you free model and gear, and they give you platform deals. And because they give you all those things for free, they take that and they give you whatever split which is in your contract. This appears to air out. How about, are you able to lower the bit rate for the stream? See if that will help. Other people having the problem? For CPU and GPU, is there anything you would recommend that would be viable for VTubing but not too expensive? Better specs for your PC, if you don't mind me asking. I would say try to all right, yeah, we'll take a 2-minute break so people can restart their PCs. It might be CPU and GPU. Try like a Ryzen 3600, and GPU maybe a Ryzen 2000 series, something in 2000 series. How you doing, Burner? Does this NDA have retirement data from the company? Yeah, so retirement date might have a retirement date, but also might have something where even if you do leave the company, you cannot talk about whatever you experience within the company prior outside of the company. Right? All right, hurry back. Works now? Okay, perfect. So, what's also another bad thing? The worst thing that could ever happen to a VTuber. Well, the worst thing the worst thing to happen to a VTuber is losing their model. And unfortunately, the companies own your model 100%. So for whatever reason, say if you have to do an early retirement or graduation or whatever, under an MCN, you cannot keep your model, depending on the MCN, right? But you're not taking that with you. That is theirs. They own that. Not just their model, their entire identity. Yeah. But they lose their model, right? So company owns the model, owns the channel, whatever channel it may be on YouTube, Twitch, whatever, right? Identity, right? They own everything. And there's probably a contract to non-compete within X years. Hey, Squid. Right? How about the gear that they gave? It's hard to tell. Most likely they're going to say keep the gear, keep the computer, stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, the computer, monitor, stuff like that is only giving, like, cost them thousands of dollars. Where all this is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right? Hey, Christy. So that's a pretty big negative. You lose your model They own the channel and identity. Contract is to not compete with them for X amount of years. But not only that, they also own all the deals. So any sponsorships, right? Where is it? Platform deals, rev share, company deals, stuff like that. They own all that. So as soon as you retire or as soon as you leave the company, you have nothing. Sure. Interrupt, gamer, please. And everybody, you're more than welcome to give your input, because this is like a class, right? So if you know, you don't have to put up your hand, just blurt something in chat, I'll read it out. So if you were, you know what? We'll open up the questions. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to say something? And if you guys want to add to positives and negatives, or if you guys want to add to what an MCN's looking for, what if someone planned to make a VTubing company for themselves? Well, you gotta have money back behind it, right? Can you start over from scratch and make a new model and stuff? Contract to not compete with an X amount of years. Coco might come back, but Coco's not coming back as Coco. And Coco might not be able to allow... Usually when you sign a non-competition contract, you're not allowed to do X thing for so long, for a certain amount of time. So they could probably start over. Coco could probably start over all over again, but we'll have to wait until what they said. I don't know the non-compete. She's doing VTubing already, but they might have worked out a special deal with her given her status. Yeah, that might be a thing. Coco's back? Okay, perfect. Did Coco get to keep her model? Or anything like that? But typically, if... No, she didn't? Oh, okay. But typically, your non-compete contract, like, for example, I've worked in IT, right? In IT, if I left Lenovo had in their contract saying, I'm not going to go work for HP or IBM or any companies like that for 5 years. Why? So I can't give any trade secrets or anything like that. So the fact that they allowed Coco to come back already, that is 100% fantastic, and I'm glad they didn't have anything like that. That's just, I'm happy. That's honestly awesome. I think a lot of people think playing video games for a living is a dream job, but every job has pros and cons. Yeah, absolutely. I doubt any company would give their brand model's identity to you to continue independently, as their name is still associated with that. Exactly. 100%. 100%. Because Coco, for example, the old Coco, if they allowed her to use her model and whatnot, people would still think that she's still with Hololive. And this is why the company owns the model, owns the channel, and owns the identity. That is why. Because, God forbid, if you said something bad, it'll look bad on them. Have you, do you have, wait, Senpai, do you have, you wonder if doing a VTubing company under you? Maybe one day in the future, but not the size I am now. I didn't expect anything to get in, but I learned a lot from what they wanted and what they considered essential. So I consider it as a valuable experience. Exactly, like, that's good. But when you applied, you probably saw that they wanted your YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Twitch, so on and so forth, right? They want all those numbers. Okay. So we went through what these MCNs are looking for. We went through the positives and the negatives of being an MCN. Right? I'm pretty sure we covered that quite a bit. Now, let's say you do it on your own. Okay. VTubing on your own. Well, if you're going to be a successful VTuber, oh, you're confused, Blue? What are you confused about? You probably joined halfway. That's probably why you're confused. I'll give you some time to reply. We'll edit this out for the YouTube. When you were starting out, did you ever think about joining a company? Or was your mindset on independent? Independent. I never want to join a company because I've seen what it's done to my favorite channels in the past, and I don't want that to happen to me. Right? Yep, as soon as I saw they wanted channel counts, I knew I wasn't going to get in, but the multilingual thing caught me off guard. I didn't expect that. Everything? It's okay, Blue. We'll go over it again at the end. Okay. So let's talk about VTubing on our own. Now, VTubing on your own, you put in your own hours. Now, a lot of people say, oh my God, I get to work my own hours. This is great. But if you're going to build a successful channel, you're going to have to put in a lot of hours. Right? I put in 20 hours for my YouTube channel a week. Minimum. And that's not including to replying to YouTube comments. Right? Twitter comments, which I get very little of. But there's a lot of hours you got to put in for this, and a lot of people don't know that. And don't let that scare you. That's a good thing. Because at the end, you're going to own this for yourself. So you put in your own hours, which is good. What else do we do if we VTube on our own? We own, for the most part, our own model. 100% ours. Which is fantastic, which is what we want. 4 hours for 4 days of the week, then 3 hours my wife puts in making shorts and VODs. Yeah, boom. 5 days, okay, well, even better. But VTubing on your own, you own your own model, which is fantastic, which is great. And actually, let's put this under positive. Right? We can make our own deals with companies. So if, say, Logitech approaches us and says, hey, I want to pay you $10,000 for you to advertise our product on your page for 6 months. You have every right to say yes or no to that. You have full control, which is great, because if there's a product you don't believe in, you don't have to do it. Right? I was approached for 2 sponsorships already. One that is very similar to, let's just say it's shaving accessories for men. And another is for a microphone, which I've talked to you guys in the past about. I decided to decline the microphone thing because honestly, I didn't believe in their product. And because I didn't believe in their product, because honestly, I tried out the microphone and I thought it was 100% junk, I said no. So I had the opportunity to say no to things I don't believe in that wouldn't work for this channel. But if I was under an MCN, no matter what, I'm doing it. I don't have a choice. What's another positive? Well, another positive is all revenue we make, we keep, minus taxes. because government loves their money. We got to pay taxes, right? But whatever we make on super chats, on donations, on da 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 da, we keep. The MCN does not take a cut. It's 100% ours. So if somebody pays me $5 here, YouTube will take their 30%. That 70% comes directly to me, and it's 100% mine. Which is perfect, which is what you want. Instead of YouTube taking their 30% cut, and then that 70% cut going to the MCN, and the MCN giving you 50% out of that cut. Right? We make more, which is great. Can anybody think of another positive? Stream whenever is another one. Right? If we feel like we don't want to stream one day, we don't have to go live. If you want to grow a successful VTubing channel, you're going to have to stream, but you have the option. If you're sick that one day, you don't have to go. Now, MCNs are usually pretty nice about this. They're usually pretty good. If you're sick or need, some time for yourself, they'll let you. But if you do it too often, they yell at you. Right? Take vacations whenever. Exactly. You could take days off. You take vacations. You could stream. You could load your avatar on a gaming laptop, and you can literally go to Hawaii and nobody would know any difference. Choose your own content. Yes, this is something I completely forgot about. But choose your own content. Yes, thank you, Brian, and welcome, Brian. Right? This is something that we can't do under an MCN. You have to stream what they want you to stream. Right? If they say, I want you to stream Minecraft and only with people in that MCN, you got to do it. Which sucks. You can't choose what you want to stream most of the time, especially if it's a non-PG game. But you can't choose, but doing this as yourself, you can choose who you stream with. Right? Do the companies give health, medical, or dental benefits like regular jobs? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe. I don't see why they wouldn't, but I don't know. Depending. It depends on the company, depends on your contract. If something like that is not in your contract, you can negotiate for that. You could be like, I want you to add dental and this and that and the percentages and whatnot. But making your own brand, whatever you want it to be, exactly. Right? Under an MCN, you can't change your model. They have to do your model for you. They pay for your model, so on and so forth. Where if you're a regular VTuber, that you own your own channel and stuff, you can change your model 3 times a month if you wanted to. If you wanted to. I don't see why you would, but if you wanted to be a PNG tuber, a 2D VTuber, and a 3D VTuber, you can be all of those at the same time, or every other day of the week, or every other week, whenever. You have your own choice on that, right? There are some VTubers out there on Twitch right now that swap between one character and another, right? Look at Snuffy. She's a raccoon on one, and then she's a cow on another. They have options that they could swap through whatever they want. Where under an MCN, you got to stick with what they give you. Making your own lore stories. Yeah, exactly. I could decide tomorrow that Thorntail is actually 10. Yeah, exactly. So, also on YouTube, if you're under an MCN, you shouldn't really swear. Because why shouldn't you swear if you're on an MCN on YouTube? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you make less money. because you make less on ad revenue. If you are on an MCN and you swear, you make less money. Right? Where if you're doing it yourself, you can swear as much as you want, as little as you want. Doesn't matter. Snuffy also has a My Little Pony avatar now. I am not surprised. That does not surprise me in the least. Okay, so that's some positives. That's not all the positives, but that's some positives. Let's talk about some negatives of being an independent VTube content creator. Well, one, hours can suck. If you're going to be a successful VTube content creator, you're going to have to work hours that you're not going to want to work. Believe me when I say this, chat. There are days and weeks that I don't want to do any of this, where I just want to take a break. But I still got to do it. Why do I still have to do it? Because I want this channel to grow. Why do I want this channel to grow? Because I want to help other people. Why do I want to help other people? Because I want to bring joy and smiles to their face. Why do I want to do that? Because it makes me feel good. Right? But your hours can suck. And you pretty much got to do it if you want to be successful. There are going to be times where you're not going to want to roll out of bed and go live, but you're going to have to. It's just what it is. Legendary nailed it on the head too. You got to pay for everything. You're not going to get a free computer. You're not going to get a free microphone. You're not going to get a free model. You're not going to get free music. You're not going to get anything for free when you first start out. When you get larger, that will definitely change down the road 100%. But when you first start out, it's all coming out of your own pocket, or if you are somebody that has actually listened to me, any and all revenue that you make on your YouTube, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Twitch goes back into your content creation, aka the first thing you should buy when you first get your Twitch paycheck is bettering your audio, right? Getting the better microphone, getting the better mixer, preamp, whatever. Then you get yourself a better webcam for better tracking. If you haven't seen my webcam guy, go check that out because I show you the differences. And then you get a better model, or you make a better model, or you commission a better model, right? And then after all that, you could buy some extra stuff that you don't need. But no matter what, you're paying for it out of your own pocket to begin with. But like I said, if you're smart and you listen to me, you're going to use all your revenue that you make on these platforms and putting it back into your platform. Right? Yeah. Has anybody ever heard the phrase of don't spend your first dollar? That's what that means. Don't spend your first dollar that you make, put it back into your content so you can make it into a second dollar. Right? Then spend the second dollar. And then so on and so forth. What did VTuber Senpai use with his first dollar? I bought a better mic. My first 2 Twitch paychecks, I bought better audio. Right? And then I bought a better camera. Then I bought a ring light. And this model did not come out of my pocket. Twitch paid for this. All the money I've earned for Twitch subs, which most of it was from Twitch Prime, I put into this model. And I didn't put much into the model. Okay. Growth, and this is another negative or a positive, depending on how you look at it, but growth is slow. Right? When you first start out, your growth will be small. It will be slow. It will be agonizing because you're learning about how to create content. Right? I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I wish I did, but it takes time. That's why I buy tech, games and stuff one at a time so I can afford. Exactly. I got my models for free. Good. Because you made them. That's good. But a negative thing or positive, depending on how you look at it, growth is very slow. Right? And honestly, that's okay because you get to learn how to stream and make content. But you got to also remember, chat, growth is slow, but how do we know? How do we think Maury and all of them got into Hololive? Because they made content before, they had YouTube channels before, so on and so forth. And I can guarantee you they spent years and years making an audience on those platforms to get where they are now. Which is going to be the exact same thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do the exact same thing that they did back in the day. Growth is slower, but my channel's been picking up real fast now. That's great. I'm happy. Good job, Alec. But once you guys start figuring out a pattern and stuff like that, growth gets easier and better, and the more videos that you make, the more that gets promoted and searched and so on and so forth. Thorn brought up another one. Promoting yourself. Right? Could be a full-time job. So how does one promote themselves? Well, they go to Twitter, they go to Instagram, they go to TikTok, they go to Reddit. And if you guys have listened to me on how to debut it as a VTuber or how to grow as a VTuber from 0 to 1,000, you can check out both videos in my playlist. I've talked about this where you make your streams into YouTube Shorts, into Instagram Shorts, into Twitter Shorts, and throwing them onto TikTok. Right? You're sending your content all over these different platforms to promote yourself, to get more eyes on your streams. And you might be doing some restreaming as well onto Facebook, onto Twitch, onto YouTube, or whatever you're going to restream to. But you're doing a lot of extra work to get yourself out there. Which ain't too bad, which is good. But it's slow. Right? It goes into growth is slow. Promoting is slow. But once you do it more often, you keep going. Thanks for the advice, Senpai. I made a TikTok with 291 likes already. There you go. You need to promote yourself. I made shorts for my streams. Exactly. Right? So those are some things you guys need to think about. What's some other things that is a negative of being a VTuber? A self VTuber. Anybody got any ideas? Or any thoughts of what a negative thing could be? As being your own VTuber? Being your own boss? I'll give you guys some time to reply to it. Having to learn everything without a mentor. Well, you guys have me. I'll help you out as best possible. But yeah, you don't have someone, you don't have a boss. Why is that a negative thing? Why is that a negative thing? Why does it suck to not have a boss over you? Well, one, going to Alex's point, they don't tell you how to do it. They don't tell you, oh, you got to do this or that. Not only that, they're also not yelling at you to say, hey, you got to get this video out on this day. Or, hey, you need to make sure you stream for X amount of hours, or hey, you need to reply to those sponsorship emails in a good amount of time, right? All this is on your shoulders.